What's the deal? It's your boy ABK jdu6st. We finna dive in another video. Alright, it's this cat, right? I guess he served like 24 years, something like that, in the California Correctional Facility. You feel me? He a OG. He gonna tell a story, I guess. Some dudes try to rob his partner or whatever, you feel me? So we finna tap into that right now. They try to rob him. They try to rob his homie for his homie's cell phone. You feel me? And you know, if you ever been to jail, those is high commodity, you feel me? So we finna see what's up with that. Bang, bang, bang.
Name of CMC East. Now, the way CMC East is set up, there are only 2 buildings on each yard, and the buildings kind of reminded me of college dormitories. So when you go in the building, you would go up a couple stairs. It's like a little porchway. You come through that porchway, and it's a podium. Now, there's a hallway that goes down to the left. The hallway is maybe about 8 feet wide, and the cells go down. It's a long hallway. The cells they start from 1, and it goes down to 25 on the right-hand side. Then on the left-hand side, they come back up from like 26 all the way to 49. That's considered the low side. Then there's 2 COs that sit at the podium. One to watch the low side, and then one to watch the high side. So then the high side, you come across the little podium area.
I just want to say this too. You heard how he said there's 2 COs to watch the podium. One for the high side, one for the low side. Mind you, niggas, hundreds of inmates. You feel me? Why people be jigging and finessing how they do. We'll get back to the video.
It's a little area, maybe about 10 feet, that where the podium sits, and then you go down the high side, and the high side is pretty much the same. So it would start at maybe 50, you go down to maybe cell 77, then on the other side, you come back up from 78 to like 99 or something like that, I think. So anyway, just to give you a little makeup of how the cells, how the cells in the buildings is set up and stuff right there. So anyway, one night, a couple of homies of mine, YG and West, I believe they was from Victorville, but I'm not quite sure. They could have been from Barstow. And like I say homies, when I say homies, I'm saying because the area, the city that they was from fell under the IE geographically. They was part of the Inland Empire, like I keep telling.
If you don't know, you feel me, when for blacks, and it's kind of like this for almost every race, but really the white boys and Mexicans, they be on race shit. But for blacks, you feel me, the IE, the Inland Empire, you feel me, they usually click up, I ain't gonna lie, with like LA niggas, you feel me, from down that way, you feel me, boom, they'll click up. Then you got Bakersfield and Fresno niggas, they'll click up, you feel me. Shit like that. You got certain cities that run together. You feel me? And they call them cords. And within that cord, with gang you bang and stuff like that, you might fall into another cord. You feel me? Yeah.
You guys, the Inland Empire is the IE, or the Inland Empire is made up of 2 counties, Riverside County and San Bernardino County, and all the cities that fall within those 2 counties. So even though they was maybe about 70 miles away from me, of course, and I didn't know him on the streets, when I come to the pen, due to the way the Inland Empire card is structured, they was my homies, right? At this time, I've been locked up probably damn near 20 years, Now these dudes is probably 22, 23, some young cats, maybe 19, 20. I don't know. They was extremely young, right? So anyway, they in the cell chilling. It's damn near time for yard recall and to be locked up for the night. Now at CMC, you have keys to your cell, and so you can leave the door open or whatever. So now they in there just chilling. Now 2 dudes come up in the cell. I can't remember if they was from Compton or they was from Watts. 2 young dudes who they normally, these dudes was friends with. They had a rapport with. So now all of a sudden the dudes run up in the cell and say, "Hey man, give me your cell phone." One of the dudes got a knife, and so he pull out the knife like, "Give me your cell phone." So now,
when you in jail, that knife is your gun, and niggas do rob niggas. You would think in your head like, okay, we finna rob this nigga in this cell, right? Boom, go in there, kick the door in. Where the fuck is we finna go that this nigga can't come back? But the way shit go down, you come back trying to get your shit, you might not leave, nigga. You feel me? Let you know that's why we booking you. And then I also let you know you ain't got nobody behind you like that. Or the niggas you do got behind you like that, nigga, we consider pussy. Or we got way more niggas than y'all, you feel me? So we gonna strip him, and if y'all wanna go up, we gonna get rid of the rest of y'all. That's how it be. Politics.
They talking to YG. The homie YG had a cell phone, but he's in there with his homie West. So now, by these dudes, like I said, having a rapport, they used to be in there, clowning and wrestling and all that. West tells me later on that initially, he think that these dudes is playing, but once they reach for the cell phone and really go to struggling, and get the like tussling up in there, that's when West realized they really not playing. So West, it's a pin sitting right there. West is sitting on the top bunk. YG is on the bottom bunk. So they on the floor scuffling. So West pick up a pin. He stabbed one of them with the pen. So now YG and the dude that's trying to wrestle the cell phone from him, they on the phone, they on the floor tussling and stuff. So eventually, YG snatched the phone and threw the phone on the bed, and they go to beep boop bop beep boop. They go to swabbing. So now the cell is kind of small, and so some type of way the dude that YG is fighting with, they make their way out on the tier. So now they out on the tier, and one of those COs who is sitting at the podium, he happens to look down there and see him on the tier like they fighting or whatever, and they really not fighting on the tier, they kind of just like in a stance or whatever. And so the CO hits the alarm, puts the alarm down or whatever. They come down there, they get them two dudes. Now when they come down there, Wes, who's still in the cell with the cell phone, he closes the door, puts the cell phone up. Now, if my recollection serves me right, when the police come down there and get him, they tell the police they was just horse playing, all right? Whatever. But
they tell the police we just horse playing. That's what a lot of niggas is gonna do. You feel me? That telling in jail, they tell you on the street not to tell. What make you think it'd be cool to come to jail and tell or speak on any type of situation? You feel me? Anyway, let's get back into this shit.
The police, handcuff him, walk him across the yard, take him to the program office, I believe, give him a 115 or whatever. So, like I said, this is going on around.
A 115 is a write-up in jail. That's like getting a ticket. That's like catching a case. You feel me? That's in jail. How you get tickets or you do this or whatever. You get a 115. That's a felony ticket in jail. You're going to have like a mini court date type shit, a little hearing, all that shit about that 115.
9 o'clock at night or 8:45, right around the time we getting ready to lock up, and they're on another tier from the tier that I stay on. We in the same building, just different tiers. Okay, so they bring them back, bring both of the dudes back.
It turns out there is one scent that a woman just can't.
Fucking commercials, man. I swear. We get back, though.
They sell. So now the next morning, of course, we go to breakfast. When we come out to yard, now you got this episode that happened from the previous night. It's in the air, it's bubbling. You know what I'm saying? So now, all the homies from IE, I forget exactly how many we may have had on the yard, maybe 15, 20, I definitely remember a few who was there. It was EWAC from Gateway. You had Money from Eastside IE. Now, Money was probably about 58, 59, an older dude, man, but still with the business, You had a few dudes on the yard, And so now we talking about the situation, Of course, YG, whose cell phone it was, he upset, he angry, he mad, you know what I'm saying? So this conversation is coming out and stuff. You got the homies gathered over there. We having a little meeting on the bleachers or maybe on the way pal, wherever we was. I can't remember exactly, So we listened to the story or whatever, and like I said, YG is upset, so he want to ride, he want to take off. But now the story is also starting to come out where you got some homies who was on the tier with him, like, oh, YG got into it with those dudes. Them dudes be up there, clowning with each other. They be horse playing. They be in the cell wrestling. They are videotaping on the cell phone and sending it to people and all type of stuff. So,
I don't like that. You playing this shit, and now this shit didn't happen. Like, shit, that's y'all fault. Always horse playing. Y'all wasn't horse playing. We don't know if it was serious or not. You feel me? For us to go trip over your cell phone and start something when you always horse playing. That's why they don't want you playing in jail. For real. jump back into the video.
Now, some people may hear like, damn, them dudes be in the cell wrestling and stuff. Now, keep in mind, man, these dudes are kids. You know, they're 19, they're 20 years old. So they're doing the same thing that any 19 or 20-year-old would be doing, you know, regardless of the fact that they're in the pen. You know, when I first came to jail, me and the homies, we would be in the cell, horse playing, wrestling, you know, doing what kids do, man. You young, you living your life, and you just happen to be living your life in the pen, right? And so, but the one problem about that is, he was in violation as far as his conduct was concerned. You know, that's one reason you shouldn't be in the cell horse playing and, you know, slap boxing, wrestling around with someone else, especially from another car, because then when these type of problems come up and arise, now you have a problem between two individual cars, right? And so for that reason, to keep it 100, some of the homies in the car, in our car, did not feel this was an issue worth taking off over. YG was mad. Like I said, he was adamant. You know, they tried to come play him. They tried to come get his phone. And he you know, he wanted to ride. But like I said, you had homies in the car who didn't feel this was worthy of them going to the hole. You know, especially when YG wasn't passing that cell phone around, letting everybody use it. Some people said they didn't even know he had a cell phone. Or I believe some people were saying he had told them that he had a cell phone, but he told him he had to flush it or he had got rid of it or lost it, something like that. So now it comes out, yeah, you still got the cell phone. You ain't letting homies use the cell phone, but you want us to ride and go to the hole for you. So to keep it 100, you had a lot of homies that wasn't feeling it. My position on the situation was this here. I told him, hey, homie, listen, you know, you really shouldn't have been in there playing, homie. I mean, you know, in that type of situation, the horse playing and making dudes think that they can test you like that sometimes is a consequence of you in there horse playing and getting too friendly with these dudes. You know, he never really actually knew what made him all of a sudden, because like I said, up until that point, they never had no problems. So he didn't never really realize, you know, or knew what made them come up in the cell suddenly tripping like that when just, you know, 30-40 minutes before they was friends, cool, kicking it or whatever. So my position was, hey, homie, listen, man. You still got your cell phone. You handled your business. Are you sure you really want to try to stab somebody and, you know, potentially catch a case up in here or whatever, you know, maybe get charged with stabbing somebody. Now you got another 10, 12 years on your sentence, 20 years on your sentence. But he was adamant. I'm going. That's all he kept saying. Is like, you know, I'm ready to go. I'm fit to ride. I'm taking off. I'm going. So of course, you know, I tried to talk a little logic into. I told him, homie, listen, man, I advise you, homie, just to let it go. You still got your cell phone. You handled your business, homie. But if you really want to do that, homie, don't trip. You know, he said, no, I'm going. Now, you know, he was just adamant about putting in some work. I said, okay, well, fuck it then, homie. If that's what you really want to do. Now, by this time, too, also, we had been outside maybe 2 or 3.
I like him. He said, well, fuck it then. That's what you want to do if you supposed to do. Your homie like, cuz, I'm finna ride. You know you gonna need somebody. Don't let that man, if you really fuck with him, you feel me? You can't talk him out of it.
2 or 3 hours talking, you know. I forgot to add that while we out there talking, I done went and talked to a dude from Compton who I had a rapport with, an older dude. We used to play dominoes all the time. I was older. I would say at the time he probably was about, you know, in his mid to late 40s. You know, we used to play dominoes. He was probably about 5, I'm gonna say 5'7", maybe about 160 pounds. You know, was kind of a slimmer dude or whatever, you know, but his position was, his position was too also, okay, yeah, you know, they was that, basically, homie, that's the homies. You know, them is the homies, they're young, and this is sometimes what I don't like about certain dudes. They gonna support their homie regardless. So he was basically just saying, hey, man, you know, them is the homies, you know, yeah, whatever, you know, I ain't saying nothing to him, whatever. So he was basically supporting somewhat of their actions. So of course, I don't tell you that my homie want to do something to your homies. I'm just telling him, hey, homie, what they did wasn't cool, blah, 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 trying to see the position that he was going to take on it, right? So he pretty much was like, you know, hey, them is the homies, man, woo, woo, woo. So, okay, I go get at the homie. I say, hey, homie, listen.
What the fuck you want to do?
If that's what you really want to do, I'll go in on this next unlock. Me and the homie Money, we had some knives up in there. Money was going to go put a handle on the knives. Go put a handle on the knives. He's going to come out, bring him 2 knives, one for him, one for his celly. Money was gonna get his knife. I had a knife in my cell, and homie, y'all do your business, homie. Of course, if them other cats don't like it, we step up and we do what we gotta do, homie. You know, he adamant. I'm going. He was adamant about that, right? So I said, okay, homie, on this next unlock, because every hour on the hour, we were allowed to go in our cells for 10 or 15 minutes. We could stay. If we wanted to go grab something, come back outside or whatever. So I told him, okay, on the next unlock, maybe if it was 11 or 12, whatever time it was, I'll be back out in an hour with these knives. Homie, meet me right here. I got you. He said, all right, cool. So we go into the cell. Me and Money just happened to live me and Money happened to live in the same building on the same tier, which was the first tier. So we go in there, you know, Money goes down there, Money get the knives out, Money's putting the handle on it. I go in there, I get my knife out or whatever. So once the hour passed, I go down to Money. I get the couple of knives he made, or excuse me, I get the couple of knives that he's put the handle on. I got my knife, he got his knife. We supposed to go outside and you know, get cracking and see what happened, man. So now when we go outside, YG and West, they're nowhere to be found. I'm like, damn, where these dudes at? So now I'm outside, man. I'm outside with 3 knives on me. I got a knife for YG, I got a knife for West, and I got my damn knife. Now, keep in mind, we've been outside discussing this situation, grouped up for the last 2 or 3 hours. So the COs definitely have an idea of what's going on. Not to mention the night before, when they got the 2 dudes and walked them to the program office, they have what's called a log book. And, you know, anytime something, incident or whatever, they log it in the book. So when the next shift comes on, they'll know, you know, of what transpired the shift before. So I'm sure all this stuff is logged in the log book. They see they see cats out there grouping and stuff. So my whole thing is now, okay, these dudes is nowhere to be found. You was adamant about these knives, talking about I'm going. I come out here with them. Now you know where to be found. You got me out here on Front Street. So I'm like, damn, where YG at, man? So like, I don't know. So I asked somebody, because he happened to be in the same building that I was in, but on a different floor. So I asked one of the homies, hey man, what cell is YG in? So they told me. Now keep in mind also, if you are housed on cell on floor 1,
I'm about to cash a $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago.
On floor 2 or floor 3, you might can go to the gate. It's a gate, like I told you guys, that leads. It's like a little opening that leads either down the hallway on the left side or the low side, and down the hallway on the high side. And some officers may let you come to that gate. Told you guys that leads. It's like a little opening that leads either down the hallway on the left side or the low side, and down the hallway on the high side. And some officers may let you come to that gate, but you're not really supposed to be down, you know, on the hallways and on the tiers if you're not housed on them. So anyway, I got 3 knives on me, like I say. So this dude ain't nowhere to be found, man.
They call that in the pen jaywalking. You jaywalking. You ain't supposed to be over. You walking up over here. You in another area. You jaywalking. That's a ticket. That's 115.
So I go into the building. I go up to his floor, which I believe was the 3rd floor. So I go down to his cell. Man, I get down to his cell. The dude's cell is pitch black. It's pitch black. It's like he got the back window covered up with a blanket. Everything is dark as hell. So I'm saying, hey, I knock on the door. I'm like, YG. He don't say nothing, him or his celly. I say, hey, YG. So I see him. They up in there. Both of them is up in there in the bed, man. So I don't know if them dudes have been up all night doing speed. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I'm steady knocking on the door. I'm like, YG. Them dudes ain't saying nothing. So I'm like, oh man, this motherfucker talking about I'm going. You didn't tell me you was going to sleep. He's up in this motherfucker asleep. Now I'm sitting here out of bounds on someone else's tier that I'm not housed on with 3 knives on me. This dude is trying to send me to the hole. So I hurry up and get up out of there. Pew! I go back downstairs. Money like, what's going on, homie? What's up? I said, man, that dude is up there asleep. Him and his celly is up there asleep. They in the bed. I knocked on the cell door. Ain't nobody answered the door. So I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So I give Money to, actually me and Money go back in the building. We go down to his cell. I take out the 2 knives. I give him back to him. I take my knife back to my cell, put my knife back up, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And so later that day, we see YG YG. I'm like, YG, what's up, man? I came to the cell, man. You was out. Oh yeah, my bad. You know, man. You know, I went up there and man, I laid down. And I said, okay, well, look, homie, you know, from here on out, whatever you do with that situation, that's on you, homie. You had me out here on Front Street, you know what I'm saying? You know, I could have got pulled over. The police pulled me over to pat me down. Now I'm sitting up in the hole, with a knife beef because you was on some BS, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the situations right there that really made me start evaluating, stepping away from the homies in terms of just always being over loyal, being too ready to ride with them and stuff. Because like I said, at that point in time, man, I had a life sentence. I've been in jail 20 years. By this time, they had started letting lifers out, you know. In order to get in order to get parole, one of the things you had to do though was remain disciplinary free. So me getting caught with a knife is definitely not is definitely not, you know, in line or conducive with remaining disciplinary free. Of course, they're gonna say, okay, you in prison, you still obviously have a violent mentality because you're running around with knives and stuff like this. And so, like I said, that was one of the things that really made me start backing away from the homies because
yeah, that shit can happen. ABK jdu6st Street, you feel me? When you go to jail, nigga, try not to make friends. It's gonna be hard because you up in there, but remember, nigga, do your time, get out. I'm gone.